We've enjoyed this interaction a lot. It's always satisfying for us to play with you and to tune into you vibrationally. And it always happens when you gather together like this, and even though you come as individuals and bring your individual vibration, as we communicate both verbally and vibrationally over a few hours together, there is always a synergy that happens and a morphing of vibration that is not you blending with each other. It's each of you blending with your inner being, which naturally causes you to blend with each other. It's not coming into harmony with your physical neighbor who's sitting near you or even in the room. It's coming into vibrational harmony with who you are. And as more of you are doing that, then there is a sort of, you might call it a collective or a common ground, a coming into a vibrational awareness of who you really are, which makes what matters most more obvious to each of you and therefore to all of you. So as we play with you, we have the advantage of knowing you fully in your vortex, both individually and collectively. And we have such a keen awareness of where you are in relationship to that. And every word that Esther has translated or received here today has been about our wanting to assist you in paving a path of lesser resistance from where you are to where you want to be. Not just to the having and the doing of the things that you want. Yes, of course, all of that. But to the coming into vibrational accord with who you really are. We want the satisfaction factor to be so strong within you. And we believe that it has moved to a new place. Our friend was talking a little bit ago about the power of now, or the advantage of being in the now. And we just want to let you know that we do that. In fact, we do only that. But that's different than what you think it is in this sense. Because you've already made your request for all of the things that you want, and because there's enough in your vortex to keep you happily busy for 20 or 30 lifetimes. When we focus upon you in your vortex, we are focused upon the now. We're focused upon the true now. Because what's manifested already is really past tense. And the true now is this vortex. So when you decide that you're going to focus on now, which means you decide that you're going to tune into the frequency of who you really are, which means you're going to allow the whole of you to be present in this moment in time, having whatever conversation you're having with whoever it is, or having this drive with your inner being as you're moving from place to place. As you establish this relationship, and you've done it here today, with that non-physical part of you, and you allow yourself to maintain the resonance of that by meditating a bit, like every day for 15 or 20 minutes for a while. It is our promise to you that the momentum that we have accomplished here today, and it is significant, because we sniffed you out when you got here, and we're sniffing you out now. And vibrationally speaking, there has been extraordinary vibrational movement between you and your inner being. What that means is you're going to be more sensitive than you are accustomed to being. You're going to feel your alignment more, and you're going to feel your misalignment more. So say to those around you, if they question what happened to you here today, let them know that you pushed a sort of reset button, and that your happily ever after is more in line than it has been maybe ever. Tell those who are up close to you how much you love them, but only tell them when you're feeling it. Talk to each other, to your children and to your partners. Talk to them constantly. Communicate with them all day long, but only when you know for sure you're in alignment. We feel such appreciation for your willingness to play with us, not just today, but every day. We are thankful that you've come into these physical bodies, and that you are discovering the new in the eternalness that we are all about. And while we know that you will fulfill your reason for being, no matter what you hear from us or get from us or act upon because of that. We know that you are fulfilling your reason for being, and it is all good. But we still wish for you the satisfaction in your life that we feel in your life. You should at least be having as much fun in your life as we are. There is great love here for you. And for now, we are complete. So good. So good. You guys, thank you so much. So much. So much. Woo! So much. Yeah. I like it. We've really enjoyed visiting with you, and even more than the words, we've enjoyed the feeling of you. We've enjoyed the energy shifting. We've enjoyed the questions that you've presented. We are most happy about the asking that is in your minds, because it's going to make the answering that keeps coming more satisfying to you. It's a little bit satisfying for you to wonder about something, or even ask it outright and have Abraham explain it to you in a way that maybe for the first time ever you got it. That happened today quite a bit. But it's even more satisfying for you to have some things, some questions, some wondering that is active within you, and then have the universe deliver the answers to you. Because that's when you really understand that you are an extension of source energy, and that source energy is so aware of you, and so flowing to you, and so ready at all times for you to be ready. There's never a moment when source, or whatever you want to call this infinite intelligence, thinks a thought about you that goes anything like, well, probably not ever going to be ready, so let's put our attention over here. There's never anything like that. Attention upon you and what you care about, always flowing to you and through you. And the more you consciously get into the receiving mode and consciously receive, then the more evidence of that you see, until you begin to live your life in the way that you intended when you decided to come, until you begin to feel the exhilaration of what life is supposed to be about, until you begin to enjoy every step 1 moment as much as the step 3 moments, until you begin to enjoy those who aren't getting it as much as you are enjoying those who are getting it. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain stubbornly in your vortex. So good. Yay. I love you guys.
I want to learn to see others as God sees them, seeing others with love, as wholeness.
Again, you see, this isn't a learned thing. This isn't something that you're going to do. This is something that you're going to receive. So when you're in the receiving mode, nothing other than that can happen. And if you're not in the receiving mode, there's not enough teaching that can make the difference. No one can teach somebody who's in a bad mood how to see the world through the eyes of source. And when you are in alignment with source, you can't do otherwise. Isn't that interesting? So we just keep saying, meditate, meditate.
And you're talking about meditation, but how do you get to that state of receiving through meditation? How do you quiet your mind?
Well, you asked 2 sort of different questions. How you get to the state of receiving is by quieting your mind. And by quieting your mind, it's by finding something else to think about. When we choose you to come forward, we get Esther really interested in the microphone. You may have noticed she really looks it over on your way up. And there's not one interesting thing about this microphone, but we like her to be fascinated by it because it keeps her mind in a quieted place. You see? Because you're all thinking things about it. Some of you are really irritated that we keep pointing over there and not over there. There are lots of thoughts around. So we just keep Esther focused on. And it's the same sort of thing. It's like knowing what you're not going to think about by knowing what you are going to think about. So you could meditate by looking at this microphone. hard to think about other things, isn't it? It's going to be an interesting audio recording. Find something to focus on, and the things that you have been focusing on because of lack of attention to them will stop being active. And when the things you have been focusing upon, especially anything that's resistant in nature, when it's no longer active, then your dominant vibration will become dominant within you, and then the ideas will begin to flow and the momentum will grow, you see. Yeah. This is a really good time for a segment of refreshment.